This is OneKimmie, my 1000 only iron account. Each episode we will kill 1000 things and progress the account for 1000 minutes, but you will decide where we go next. From episode 5, you, viewers, will be able to vote on what we kill and where we go. Welcome to episode 2 of 1000 only. Today we're taking on Minotaurs in the Stronghold of Security. We'll be taking on the level 27 ones further in, however the level 12 ones have the same drop table. Minotaurs are pretty weak despite being level 27, mainly due to their negative defensive bonuses making them easier to hit in all combat styles. With no strength bonuses, their max hit is 3, they sit at 22 HP with 23 attack and 25 strength and defense. Their defensive stats sit at -10 for all melee and range styles, and -21 for magic, but with no elemental weakness. Lastly, they are not immune to any additional damage sources. Their drop table isn't much to shout about, however they are a pretty good source of beginner and easy clues, and they drop the right half of Scepter, which we can break down to charge the Skull Scepter once we get it, which teleports us to Barbarian Village, which will be useful until we start getting glories together. It is also the lowest level staff that can be used to autocast from the Arceus spellbook, though by the time we get the staff together we'll probably be close to getting the Slayer staff, which can also autocast the Arceus spellbook. Initially, I decided to be on the Arceus spellbook to reanimate heads as we get them. Eventually, however, since we're going to be getting a bunch of beginner clues, which run us around the free-to-play area, not having access to the Lumbridge home teleport and other teleports mean we run around a lot, wasting a lot more time. Just to complete these 3 clue scrolls, I had to run to Charlie and Varrock, over to Cassie and Falador, to the Lady of the Lake in Tavali, back to Wayne's Chains in Falador, then to the Wizard's Tower. We fortunately have the Chronicle to get back to Varrock. Then we run north through Ardoon, and then have to run all the way down to Emir's Arena in Alcarid for the last step, all of which took 18 minutes. Even being able to teleport to Lumbridge would have probably saved half that time. Because of all that running around, we switch back to the standard spellbook. We also pull out all the mind druids we bought last episode to start pushing towards 41 magic to be able to use blast spells with the death runes we're getting from swapping our cats in Ardoin. Thanks to the update to magic spells last year, magic training through combat isn't nearly as expensive as it used to be, with our wind strike hitting a maximum of 8 instead of 2 now. We've traded in another 2 cats and added another 400 runes to our pile. We managed to get to 41 magic with 200 mines to spare. Once we finish those off, we'll swap back to our Adamant Scimitar to melee the rest of the Minotaur kills. While we're getting close to finishing that to Minotaurs, I feel like it's a good time for another drop table fact. Many monsters have tertiary drop tables. Every tertiary drop is rolled individually, which means that multiple tertiary items can drop at once, alongside their normal drops. For Minotaurs, it would theoretically be possible to get an Ensouled Minotaur head, a beginner clue scroll, and an easy clue scroll in the same drop. After 9 hours and 40 minutes, we're done with our 1000 kills, though we're not quite done yet. We still have some unsold heads left over to take to Arceus. With the 6 heads we have, we managed to get to 32 prayer. That wraps up the combat phase of the episode. We didn't get as many levels as I thought we would in this one, however we did hit our magic goals, so that's good progress anyways. We gained 7 strength levels, 7 prayer, 16 magic, and 5 HP levels, as well as a couple levels from random events and lamps, giving us 1 herb lore and 1 fishing level. As for loot, we went way under drop rate for a lot of items we were looking for, only getting 13 Ensouled heads instead of 20, 15 beginner clues instead of 17, and only 3 easy clues instead of 10. For clue caskets, we're going to save them up until we get enough for each scroll box tier, and then open them all at once. So once we reach 50 and 100 beginner caskets, we'll open them, and then 100 and 200 caskets for the easy clues. Moving on to the progress phase, we're starting with thieving. Now that we have over 40 magic, we're starting to get access to more teleport spells. But to be able to use them, we need some lore runes, so that's where we're off to next. The only place we have access to for lore runes at the moment is a mage arena in the wilderness. So of course, the only thing we take is a knife to cut the webs. World hopping more would of course get us more runes cheaper, but since the price of runes only go up 0.1% per rune, hopping for 10 runes instead of 50 would probably only give us a couple of each rune extra. We're grabbing lore runes for teleports, cosmics for enchants, and natures for both reanimation and alchemy spells when we start using them more. Next on our to-do list is to get the rogue's outfit, which means getting 50 agility, so we're off to Canifis. After 3.5 hours, we hit our target, head off to swap our cat for more death runes, and head straight for the rogue's den. After about 50 minutes, we collect the last part of the outfit. We're jumping quite far ahead now. At this point I've decided to try and make Guardians of the Rift as efficient as possible. Guardians of the Rift is going to be one of the best ways for us to get runes together without relying on monster drops or dropping excessive amounts of gold buying them, so the faster we can make things, the more runes we can get. Before starting agility here, we spent time mining shooting stars. Not only will a rune pick mean that we get Guardian fragments faster, but a celestial ring also gets us an invisible 4 mining boost. We also completed the Easy Varrock diary for the Varrock armor, which gives us a 10% chance to mine an extra Guardian fragment. We're here going for 56 agility to use the agility shortcut to get to the large Guardian remains, which speeds things up by giving us 2 to 4 fragments instead of 1 to 3 fragments upon successful mining. With 56 agility now obtained, we head to the Guardians of the Rift to try the minigame once again. For now, our only goal is to get 25 Abyssal Pearls to unlock the ability for Cordelia to repair our rune pouches for us when we need to. Once we have that ability, we will be saving our rewards for when we have 77 rune crafting, because when you get a rune reward from the Guardian, you get less if you don't have the rune crafting level to create them. With 12 potential available, we gather our rewards. We get the 25 pearls we're looking for, along with Giant Pouch, which means we have all 4 pouches when we want to make the Colossal Pouch, though that will mean getting 56 crafting as well. For the last part of our progress phase, we spend the time working on fletching, which we'll need for quests like the Fremenic Trials and Sins of the Father. At the end of episode 2, this is how things are looking on our stats. We've gained a single prayer level, 15 runecraft, 14 agility, 7 thieving, 1 crafting, 11 fletching, 19 mining, and 1 woodcutting level, with a total level of 751. Onto our bank, which I'll slowly scroll through. There isn't much to talk about here, we still have plenty of cake and bread for combat. The main things of note are the beginning caskets, of which we now have 20, and the death runes which we've been collecting, leaving us at 2,000 of them. We also have 7 easy clue caskets, and we grabbed a rune sword since we're now at over 40 attack. I don't believe we did much in the way of questing this episode, since a lot of it was spent training agility, but here's what our quest list is looking like as well. I'd like to thank you all for watching. As a reminder, after episode 5, I will be doing an FAQ and rules video, so if you have any questions about the rules, account, or plans, leave a comment below. And if you like the video, please leave a like. It helps push the video and channel to more people and can help out a lot.